Andycharger's 2022 Audi TT year review show.
It looks quite clean still, mate. Look at the bending.
I know, mate. It's been well waxed up, this car. Don't look at it too closely, though.
It's mint.
I know. Well, it's been living in the garage for weeks, hasn't it? Hi all, Andy here, and look who I'm here with. CarChris. How you been, Chris?
All good, mate. All good.
Yeah?
All good. What a year, though, mate. What a year.
Oh, mate, what a year. I mean, if we think about what we've done this year, but do you know what? As great as it is today in the snow, and we're going to take the car out for a little spin, I think, and try out that four-wheel drive. I think it's sensible we get in the car and do this because the weather's not great. It's freezing cold.
And it started to rain.
Absolutely. Let's get in the car.
Oh. Safe?
Yeah, well safe, mate.
Oh, no.
It's all right. What's this? What's this? That's the...
One's written on top of the stairs, so I have to pull it out.
All right.
I think I took a picture of it.
Yeah, we can't include the footage of the Christmas Carol that came on when we undone the radio because we can't monetise our video then. Let's talk about this year. So I think if we turn the clock right back, so Chris and I have probably known each other for just over a year, I'd say, Chris.
Yeah, I'd say so.
A year ago I came to you and we did that, we checked the chains on this, didn't we? That was the first time we did
this car, yeah.
So.
You just literally picked this up, didn't you? And you wanted to check the chains and
Yeah.
I think you're good. I think you're good. I think your chain's absolutely fine.
Happy days.
Yeah, so
That's good news.
I think that's all fine.
All was good.
all was good.
All was good. So that was the end of last year, and then I believe Mr. Parrott got in touch, didn't he, and said, well, let's bump into you guys and we'll have a little meet up. And we went up to Hemel Hempstead and had a meet at the services, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And Dom.
And South Mim Services, yeah, we hooked up with Dom and yeah, just got together and discussed sort of like doing shows, just doing like organised a few like bits together between the three of us.
Yeah, exactly right. And Dom did invite us along to his breakfast meet that he held. And that was the first car show I'd ever been to as an owner. And
Yeah.
I was a little bit dubious about going because as many of you probably do that have not been to a car show, you probably think it's going to be a bit cliquey and it might be a little bit unapproachable, but I was surprised. Everyone made me feel so welcome. And I think the scene, the TT scene in the UK right now is immense. Everyone makes you feel so welcome. So if you're ever in two minds whether you should come along to one of the shows, I guarantee you should do, because they're brilliant for meeting new people. Yes, please. If you can turn my heated seats on, that'd be great. Yeah, nice one, Chris. Why don't we check in and see what Dom's doing? Afternoon, Dom. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. What a great year we've had.
Mate, it has been probably the best year for TT owners to date. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
we've had some crazy stuff happen.
I mean, those shows we've been to this year, and getting 135 TTs at Ockham just a few weeks ago, mad.
To a casual brekkie meet, you know what I mean? Like,
so, what was your highlight of the year? Do you think?
Oh, do you know what? Mine was just seeing some of the mental cars, like cars that people have been building for years, but we'd never seen. Like, that one. Do you remember the one that was at Ockham with the big turbo that looked completely standard? And it was just, he went out and it was like a screaming cat. And it was like, we'd never seen him. He'd never been on social media that we'd seen, you know what I mean? And suddenly here he is with this absolute rocket ship of a car. It's like wicked.
There's been, I think, obviously you've been around the scene for a lot longer than I have. So I'm sure most TTs now that crop up at these meets you have seen. So it's always quite refreshing to hear there's cars coming out the woodwork and cars for you to see for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I keep seeing new cars and obviously the same cars with new owners, which is always nice because everyone puts their spin on it. Like Richard's a good example because obviously his car's been for a few owners, the red one when he had it. And it's just nice to see everyone put their different spin on it. And obviously if they're chatting with us or coming to our meets, then they're obviously keen on keeping it nice, which is amazing because that just prolongs the longevity of these beautiful cars and the scene that we have, which is wicked.
Yeah, I think that's been quite an interesting thing for me, even just in the year that I've been doing this. 4 years of ownership, but really 1 year of being active and seeing these cars at shows. Is in that period of time I've seen cars that I recognise that used to be owned by someone else. And it's strange because you know that you've known the car longer than you've known the person. So you've always got that bit of history.
Most about the car more probably as much as they do.
Yeah. What an interesting setup. So you got some interesting things lined up for next year then?
Yeah. So obviously we've got TT stuff. I have too many and I'm going to be downsizing obviously to just focus on the Noggy, get that finished. Big video coming out Christmas Day, so it'll be live when this is on. And little sneak peek was the engine wasn't what it was supposed to be, so I'm going to need to do a lot more work than I planned to do. And I'm really just going to focus on that. I've got the unit. I'm going to make sure that car is the best it can be. I've had it the longest. I want to keep it forever, so it just makes sense to triple down and just go mad with it. And then on the flip side, me and Bryn are also going to be doing our own new thing, going in a completely different direction, but still doing all the TT stuff as well.
Rock Bottom Media will be making their debut on New Year's Day. Is that right? New Year's Day?
Yeah, New Year's Day we're going to be doing a live. Yeah, talking through all the crazy stuff we're going to do and the stuff behind the channel. I don't want to give too much away. I don't know what Bryn said. He's probably told me more than I have. But
Dom, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Have a great New Year. Best of luck for next year, and I'm sure we'll be doing an awful lot more together in the new year. Take care, mate.
And you, mate. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye,
mate.
Do you remember that? Obviously, the first one you were just talking about, the first show we went to.
Yeah.
We were like, shall we film? Shall we not film?
Yeah. We were a little bit nervous by that,
we didn't know what to do, didn't we? We were like so new to all this. Like, what do we do? Do we film it?
Film it. It's, I think people like to see their cars on film. They like to see their cars on camera. That's great.
Exactly that.
And it gives us a great extra memory, I think, to go away, because a lot of these cars aren't going to be around forever. So that's the one thing, and it allows us to document these cars at a moment in time of history, I think, which is great.
I mean, I think with filming the car shows, it is really good because A, you've got the people that went there, as you said, want to see their cars, and then B, you've got the people that couldn't make it, who want to see what happens.
Exactly right.
So it's like a win-win for everyone. Obviously, we've been to so many cool shows this year, and we've organised a few of them ourselves as well. So.
And we've had so many people from around the world that get in touch that say, I would love to have the same TT scene in my country that you guys have. So it's great to get that feedback from you guys, and we're glad that we can bring it to you.
Yeah, no.
So that was our sort of like first show we went to together, and then we went to a few more, including Simply Audi. I think was our next big one, wasn't
Simply Audi.
Simply Audi was a great show. It's held at the Motor Museum in Bewley.
That's it.
There's a link to that show on both of our channels. So Chris and I did a review of that show. So if you want to check that out, I'm going to put all the links to the videos that we've done in the video description. Let's have a look at some of the shows we went to after that. We went to the Motorist. We went to the Motorist up in near Leeds.
We did, yeah.
That was a great show. I think we had about 85 cars at that one. We also had a meet together at the Route 1066 Cafe, which we called the Battle of Hastings because it was close to Hastings. And we had some great cars turn out that day, didn't we? On a really sunny morning.
11th of the 6th, 22.
Oh, 11th of June.
But that was our first one of us ever organising just ourselves, wasn't it?
Indeed. So Chris and I organised that one between ourselves, and it was great to see so many local cars, and some people had come a fair distance to attend that. Yeah. But it gave us a taste for organising shows, and since then we've gone on to organise many more. And one of the key ones that we did this year was the meet where we did the London to Brighton run, didn't we, Chris?
We did. We had Quattrophenia.
Yeah. So we found a great spot in London that we all met up. All the cars got together. We drove down to Brighton and we absolutely smashed out the car park when we got there, didn't we? On that top floor, all the TTs lined up. It looked fantastic.
Brilliant. I mean, obviously we'll be doing that again next year, but we're going to try and do something a little bit different. I think we're going to try and do like mapping and stuff like that so people can see where we all are.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so we can share a location. So one of the things we learned from doing a show between points A to B is people get lost on the way, people get stuck in traffic. So we're going to make sure that you know exactly where we are so you can all keep up and you can all end up in the same meeting place. But prior to Quattrophenia, we had a show in my back garden called SpringFest, which we organised, where we had 35 TTs, a mixture of Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3s in the garden. Roasting hot day.
It was, wasn't it?
Absolutely, but what a great turnout we had. Again, it was a mixture of cars we've not seen before, cars we've seen for the first time. Brilliant day.
I mean, the thing about SpringFest, I find, Andy, it was really good. As it was like a limited amount of number of cars that could come, we could get around and spend a little bit more time with people and a bit more time looking at their cars and stuff.
That's the thing. As much as we love filming cars, we also like coming around and speaking to you all and just seeing what you're doing with your own car. So hopefully next year we're going to get more opportunities to do so.
Then we had our first Ockham Bites.
Ockham Bites. Now, what a great show that's been. We had that twice this year. The first show we had, was it 65 or 85 cars?
60. Over 60
Over
TTs.
60 cars we had. And we thought that was a fantastic turnout, and we filled the car park at Ockham. So the people that run the cafe must have been really pleased with us that day.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that was a great turnout, and we couldn't believe it, that how many people were interested in coming to that.
But we followed that up with a second Ockham Bites show, which absolutely blew my mind.
That was crazy.
135 TTs we had there, and cars were going round and round trying to find a parking space. No one could get parked. We literally had it. We blew the doors off the place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was so much bigger than what we expected. Hence why we done that. We went and found a new location, didn't we?
We did. So Chris and I went out in October time, and we found a location a bit further out than Ockham Bites. It's called the Departure Lounge. Location will come out shortly, but we will leave a link in the video description. That's probably going to be April or May time next year, and it's a great field, a great cafe, a great breakfast, and details of that will follow. Do you know what? Why don't we check out what Bryn's doing? Afternoon, Bryn. How you doing?
Not too bad, Mr. Charger. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. You know, ducking and diving. Be interested to know how your year's been.
My year has been busy. Lots of stuff on the channel and off the channel. I mean, I got married at the beginning of the year, so yeah.
Congratulations.
Kind of set the scene, and then it's just been busy working away. Not as much content as maybe I'd like, but you know how that gets sometimes, where you just got to focus on the things that pay the bills rather than
absolutely. Have you seen any disasters this year?
Disasters?
Yeah. Car disasters.
Yeah. I can tell you one disaster story that I saw that made me laugh. Someone had gone to the effort of adding a secondary dump valve into the pipe onto the throttle body, the upper boost pipe there. And so they had the normal diverter valve in, as well as a dump valve, on the intake to the throttle body. So that was interesting. Yeah, and he bought it like that, so it's not like I'm dissing what he did, you know. But yeah, you see some questionable things.
Yeah, and of course you managed to get to the ring this year in your interesting car.
Interesting. What was interesting about it?
Well, the paintwork, I suppose we'd say it's interesting.
Yeah, the stickers, definitely the stickers. It's one of those things I've had on my list of things to do for years, and then for one reason or another, it kept getting put off, and I just thought, I'm not putting it off. I looked at the weather forecast, it was good, so I spent a day rushedly preparing and just went so that I can say I've done it, you know, and now I can plan for future trips. And I'm sure you would love to join us as well, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something we're looking to do next year. Get ourselves over to the ring and have a look at what goes on.
See how many
Germany.
TTs we could get over there in one go. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, have you tucked your car away for winter now, or was that just a video about how to?
No, one is tucked well away because it has no MOT on it right now. Okay. So it's one of those jobs, it needs all the bushes doing at the front. And I thought, do you know what? Take it off the road, take my time, get it done.
That'll make good content.
Well, there is that, yeah. So, and obviously you and Mr. Parrott have got some big things planned for next year as well, I see. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we're doing a live on New Year's Day. So it'll be a couple of days after this video then in the end. Live on New Year's Day to give people a full picture of what's going on in the first video. It's going to drop on the 2nd of January. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll all be tuned in on New Year's Day with hangovers. So
well, that's the point. You know, the name of the channel, Rock Bottom Media. We're not expecting anything good.
Right, Bryn, thank you very much for jumping on tonight. Great to see you, buddy. Have a great 2023. Take care, mate.
Cheers, Andy.
Yeah. But looking ahead to next year, there are other things that we have planned. So we are going to take a road trip next year, a couple of road trips in fact. One of the road trips, we're going to go to Ireland and see our friend Stephen Harper, fellow YouTuber. And I think Stephen's just about to buy another TT, or he's got one lined up. Have you seen that?
I haven't, no.
Oh, right, so maybe that's a bit of inside information I'm giving away.
Right.
But Stephen was approached by someone in a car park and said, well, he'd like to buy his TT, I believe. So,
he couldn't say no.
They couldn't say no, so I think he's buying another one. So, while we're talking about Steve Harper, let's just check in and see what he's doing this Christmas. Hi, Stephen, how you doing?
Hey, Andy, how are you?
Yeah, good to see you. How's your week been?
Oh, I got the cold eventually, so unfortunately I have a bit of a cold coming on, but thankfully it's not COVID, so that's the major thing. So
if we look back over the past year, Stephen, what's been your highlights? What have you been up to? Tell us what you've been up to this year.
Well, probably the two biggest videos I did was at the very start of the year. So I think it was actually on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, my car stopped. And it stopped probably about 20 or 30 kilometers away from home. And I was just like, what am I meant to do? Like, so you have this kind of thing is like, it's the 1st of January, nowhere's open. I don't even know like what towing company I could get. So you just do the whole thing of like the IT crowd, turn it off, turn on, turn off, turn on, and hope that eventually would start. So it did eventually start. And so that was the first video of the year, was fixing the fuel pump.
So apart from your videos, what else have you been up to this year? So you've not only got the TT, what are your other projects that you've got?
So I have a TT, of course. Then I have a Mk1 Golf convertible. The Corrado project is still the Corrado project. And then, of course, there's the Kia and there's farming and everything else I do.
So next year, obviously, Chris and I are going to jump in the car, or separate cars, and we're going to come over and see you. So we need to get a date in the diary for that. So there will be a date coming up, guys, on the channel at some point where we're all going to head to Ireland and see Stephen. So if any of you want to come with us, keep your eyes peeled for the details, and we'll pop over to Ireland and go and check out Stephen's TT in the flesh. Now, Stephen, do I remember rightly? Did I see something recently where you were looking at, or you had the option of a second TT?
Yeah, well, we have this little one here.
Oh, right.
Thankfully. But so I went off and I was like, you know, Andy has a second TT. Chris now has a second TT. I kind of feel a bit left out here. So I was on Facebook Marketplace, as you do, and I found another TT. It was super cheap, and it turned out to be a 180 horsepower, so single exhaust pipe TT. There was a lot of stuff wrong with it, and I kind of lost a little bit of interest in it, and the price was super cheap, so I was like, kind of, but no, at the end, there's so much stuff wrong with it, I decided it's probably a breaker at this stage. It's not worth fixing. Getting out of the car, and this elderly man came over to me. He's like, I like your car. I was like, okay, good, thanks very much. We're late for dinner, so we really have to go in. I have a TT as well. I was like, by any chance, is there a red one? He was like, yeah, how'd you know that? I was like, I've seen you driving around a few times. And he said, I've had nothing but troubles with this car. And I would literally, it's taking me so much money to fix it. It's currently off the road. I might even just give it away. And I was like, do you want my phone number? I was like, this is a typical Andycharger moment. If I had like a business card, I'd be like, check out my YouTube channel.
Like, always have a business card ready.
But yeah, so I got to meet him in the new year. He said like he's busy for Christmas. I was like, that's grand. So we'll meet you in the new year and we'll see. So there might be a second TT, and I think it's a 225 as well.
Excellent.
So, and it's running, so that's great. That's one less thing to fix.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching your video of the green one, the convertible.
Yeah.
And I love that video because it's going, right, this is the car, it's super cheap. That's great. But then you start breaking down, like going, right, this has to be fixed. This has to be changed. This is maintenance, time belt, all the other stuff. You start working going, it's actually cheaper to buy the more expensive car than it is to buy the really crap one that you have to do loads of work to it, and you still don't have a great car afterwards. So
yeah, I think that is a lesson for anyone out there, is if it's cheap or it seems too cheap, there's normally a reason. And what you've almost got to say is there is X amount of money to spend on a TT.
Yes.
And of that money, so much of it can be the car and no maintenance, and some of it can be a very little part of the car and lots of maintenance.
Yeah.
You're always going to pay the same amount of money in the end, so you might as well invest as much as you can to get the best car you can that's available and not waste it on maintenance fixes, because like you say, you will end up breaking them in the end. That green one I saw, really the only thing that was going to be any good to come off that was the under tray. That's about it. Everything else was gone. So it sounds to me like you're going to have your hands full in the new year with extra projects, which is great. Okay, well, Stephen, thank you very much for joining us this evening. And no doubt we will see you in the new year. Looking forward to coming over to Ireland and catching up with you.
Definitely come over.
And yeah, looking forward to it. We will be there. Don't you worry. We will be there. So yeah, take care, Stephen. Have a great Christmas. See you soon.
Bye, Andy.
See you, mate.
As all TT YouTubers should have at least 2 cars.
So yeah, Chris, let's talk about your car and what you've got going at the moment. So the Mark 1's in the workshop, so why don't you give us an update on where we're up to on that?
Right, so with the Mark 1, obviously I did get the V6 front bumper and I've been repairing the side sills as well. It's just been so cold down at the moment to obviously get any paint on, which is like slowing things down a bit. And then also with the V6 bumper, I have managed to get that to fit now, so that does fit on the car, and I'm just in the process of making the grills. But it's very difficult. I mean, I haven't put a video out in a little while because I'm keeping waiting for parts. So I'll do something, realise, wait a minute, now I need to get that. So then I have to wait for that to come, go back down there, see if that works or doesn't work, and then rethink things.
And the Mark 2, where's that at right now?
That's actually covered in snow at the moment outside the front of my place, and it hasn't moved.
I hope you still got the Andycharger card I left on the front windscreen in place. You will find out that if you own a TT and I've not seen you before, I will be depositing one of my cards under your windscreen wiper. So if you're out shopping and you come back, you may have been Andychargered. Chase all dear, someone's not come up too well just there, have they? That's the thing with the snow, and that's the four-wheel drive of the Quattros really does give you that sense of security on the road. You can put your foot down and it will still go.
I mean, like at the moment, obviously the roads are wet and it's working fine. But obviously on snow and ice, you ideally would want winter sort of tyres.
You definitely would want winter tyres, because I tried to take the car out when it first snowed last Sunday and I got marooned in my own driveway. So of course next year we're not just going to have the meet in Ireland, we're also going to have a run to the Nürburgring.
That's going to be interesting.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Have you been on the track before?
No, I've never been on the track
before.
No.
It's going to be interesting.
So I've got to buy myself a helmet, I know that.
Yeah.
So we need a helmet each.
Get some helmets.
And we might look a pair of helmets,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
but we're going to get a helmet each, and we're going to take the cars to the Nürburgring, and we're hoping as many of you guys out there as possible can come with us. So we're looking to take a trip over there, and there is an old racetrack, I think it's a Formula 1 racetrack, that is sort of halfway there in a place called Rheims in France. I think you'd call it Rheims. It's spelled with Rheims Vanessa at the end. But there's still the old pit straight and the old 1950s pit garages that look like something out of Scale Electric set.
Oh, is it?
About the 1970s.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. All along the side of the road, and you can winch your car up and do a photo stop there. So I think we'll do that. That'll be a great photo opportunity.
We'll do that probably over like a weekend.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be like a Friday to Sunday thing. So we'll try and find some accommodation as well. But again, we'll put the details up in the video once we get to that stage to share the times and the dates. And hopefully you guys can come along with us and share the journey.
Another TT takeover.
A TT takeover in Germany, taking the cars home. But I think they're making the Czech Republic, aren't they? Technicality.
Well, we'll get the TTs to Germany. Whether they all come back, we don't know.
Well, I hope they will. My car's back. So talking in my car, there are a couple of jobs I need to get done on this car coming up. One of which is the top mounts on the front, because they are protruding quite a bit now, and I do want to put original top mounts on it.
So no power flex for you?
No power flex for me. So I'm definitely going to see if I can get hold of OEM parts for it. Now I know some of the parts now are no longer made for this car, as I found when I had to do the subframe earlier on in this year. I think I can do it myself. A set of spring clamps and off we go. So that'll be a video coming to the channel in the new year, no doubt.
I mean, you've done the rear shocks on this already, haven't you?
I did. Didn't need to do any spring compression on that though. So
yeah,
it's nice to be
quite
driven
nice
around.
being chauffeured. I'm always the driver.
Yeah, exactly. In a TT as well.
Yeah, keep going, mate.
I've not seen any TTs. Wait, do you know what though? I've been trying to no lights on. Right. Should put my lights on now. Lights are on. Motor's on.
You've got some nice roads down here though, mate.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are chucking salt all over my lovely shiny paintwork. And you know, I personally want to thank Chris for all the help he's given me this year. You know, both being at YouTubers, but me being quite new to the TT car scene. I do lean on Chris quite a bit for his guidance and assistance. So I really appreciate that, mate. All the help you've given me this year, and it's been a pleasure.
Mate, I think it's been really good working together.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure. We've done so much collaboration this year, and it's only going to grow next year. I'm sure we'll be doing loads more videos, footage, and our lives. Don't forget our lives, guys. So if you are bored on the Sunday night, we tend to do a few lives throughout the year. We haven't done one for a while, but I can sense one coming up, a festive one at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah. Be good to get one in, wouldn't it? 3 years out.
Absolutely. it seems to have, the TT scene seems to have come alive this year. I don't know why that is or for what reason, but when, you know, the number of cars that we got at Ockham Bites right at the end of the year, when people are putting cars away, and we had 135 cars plus there, so to get that sort of turnout at that time of year is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we do it because we enjoy doing it, and if it helps other people, and it's even better. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Why not share your passion? Because we all have this passion together. So let's all just crack on, isn't it?
Yeah. And we're always interested to know what's going on in your TT journeys yourself. So why don't you send me some pictures of your car if you've got some work underway, or leave me a message for me and Chris in the comments to tell us what you've got going on right now. Also interested to know if you've garaged your car this winter or if you've kept it on the road.
Hunter's direction.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, so Hunter is at Hunter Desimone. He's been a great guy, and he's got a really good, a really fast growing channel about his Audi TT Mark 1. He's also got an S3, I believe, hasn't he?
S4.
Oh, S4 he's got,
yeah.
He's got an S4. And he's only a young guy, but he's got some really good mods to the car, yeah. Oh, you've reminded me, Chris, I must talk to Hunter in the US. Hey Hunter, how you doing?
Good, how about you?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been keeping a very close eye on your channel over the last year and watch it go from strength to strength. Got some great content on there. So what have you been doing the last year?
I'm mostly trying to keep both of the cars alive, given that all the parts are hard to find, but trying to make them better in any way I can, trying to find upgrades where they're necessary without losing kind of what the car is at the same time. And yeah, it's been fun to get to learn both of the cars and get to work on them.
Great. So what's your highlight been working on the TT in the last year?
Probably rebuilding the whole suspension. I would say that made probably the largest difference for anything I've done to the car. I mean, the tune was fun, but when I bought it, it wasn't necessarily running the best. So that was partially done to help diagnose and fix issues. So I've kind of always had that, but the suspension is night and day different.
I'd say I've watched your car, let's say, blossom in the last year. They're both looking great. They're both, and how's it been in the weather? Because you've obviously got bad weather at the moment. Have you had that car out in the snow?
Well, bad is relative. I enjoy the snow. Yeah, I drive both of those cars pretty much daily. They're both phenomenal in the snow. You do get a lot of really fun looks when you're driving the TT next to a lifted truck. Most people have no idea that it's all-wheel drive, and yeah, it's entertaining. And both of them are, you have to try to lose grip as opposed to accidentally losing it, which is kind of fun.
So what have you got planned for the TT next year?
I think I'm going to hopefully solve or find a solution to the fact that the car had been resprayed by the previous owner, and a lot of the base coat that they sprayed on is starting to peel off. So I'm either going to most likely wrap the car just kind of like I did the S4, and then investigate options for more power in the car just to kind of seal the deal on what I want the car to be.
Hunter, thank you very much for joining us today. I say, if you are not subscribed to Hunter's channel, then please check out the link in my video description. Check him out. He's doing some great work. Camera work is always first rate. I bow down to your camera skills. You're really putting some great work out there. So thanks for all the great videos this year, Hunter. And you take care.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And I always say to Hunter what a great presentation style he's got as well.
Yeah.
Because he comes across really well on camera. Just give us a nice to go still, doesn't it? I can do that. I do love it. And the thing is, the car's nice and warmed up now, so I can do that. We're definitely the only Mark 1 out about today, aren't we?
We are. We need to buy more TTs.
We need to buy more TTs. Is that your idea?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
Have we just come up with that one?
Yeah. No, not just like that. I'm thinking we need to find the cheapest TTs in the country. It don't matter if they're 180s, 150, it don't matter. We've got to find two of the cheapest ones,
right?
And then we do a trip to Scotland or something in our cheapest ever TT.
Really?
And see if we make it, and do some challenges.
Yeah, like leaving it at the side of the road
Yeah,
to rot away.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe we'll have a look at that then. That might be a good challenge. The cheapest TT.
Yeah.
So, if you've got a cheap TT for sale, why don't you get in touch with me and Chris? It's got to be the cheapest. So
And it's got to have an MOT.
an MOT. Okay,
That's all,
so
that's
there's a
all the only
stipulation.
requirement. It's got to work and have an MOT.
Okay, so it's got to be roadworthy.
Yeah. To a
To a point.
It's got to be legal.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking if anything up to around about 500 quid. Is your cheap TT going to be better than my cheap TT?
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but
anything
sub 500 quid.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a challenge, guys. If you can find a sub £500 TT for us,
Preferably two.
or that you know of, yeah, please get in touch with me first, and then no, please get in touch with us. Leave a comment for us. Actually, leave a comment on the video, and let us know.
So I think that would be good to do some challenges then to see how well our £500 TTs do.
I think that's a great idea. So that's my TT year in review, and I've had a cracking time with both cars this year, meeting so many great people and attending so many great meets. And of course, the videos have kept coming with the help guides, the how-tos, and of course, a review of all of the great meets I've been to. If you like what you've seen today and you're not already a subscriber, why don't you give this video a thumbs up, and also think about subscribing to my channel, where you'll find a whole host of content on the Audi TT Mark 1. As always, thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care. Let's hope this weather warms up.